Alright, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we're going to talk about Chinese conjunction word 因为. This one, 因为. It means because, 因为. So we have 4 sentences here on the board and basically 2 pairs of sentences because 2 of them are basically the same thing, just another way to say the same thing. The first one, 因为一件小事，我和他分手了。因为一件小事 because 一 this is Chinese character 1. 因为一件 one 一件 is a quantity word, Chinese quantity word. One 一件 like 一件衣服 one clothes, one shirt. 一件 T 恤 one shirt. 一件小事 one little issue. 小 means little or small, trivial, right? 小 we can use this 小 as adjective to say 小孩 little kids 小孩小事 right? 小 means small 事 thing or event one or occasion something like that 因为一件小事 because of a little thing 我和他 and this 和 is also a conjunction word. I and he or he and I. In Chinese, we don't have that particular order. We can say I and he. 我和他 This 他 is a male he. 我和他分手了 because in Chinese we have the same pronunciation in she and he. That's the reason why many Chinese people when they speak English they don't know how to differ she and he, right? That sounds funny because we don't have a separate she or he. We just have one 他 both he and she sound the same 他 So in Chinese, it's very odd because when you refer to someone to the third personal pronoun, you say 我看到他了 I saw 他 我看到他了 It means both I saw him or I saw her, right? So I don't know why Chinese don't bother to defer this he and she. Probably because we rely on the context to defer he or she. Maybe sometimes it is very ambiguous, gives some problem, some misunderstanding in Chinese. That's I believe that's one little problem in the language, in the Chinese language. 我和他分手了 This one is very popular. 分手 is a verb phrase. 分手分 means to part or to separate. 分手 This one 手 is hand, right? To part the hands, it means to break up, right? So it's very like the English too. When they're holding hand, they break their hand. They don't hold their hand, right? It means they broke up. Because one little thing, I and he broke up. This l suffix l right? We have mentioned this phenomenon again and again to emphasize. This le is a suffix to indicate that this verb happened in the past. It's a past tense indicator. 了，我和他分手了。I and him broke up. This one, 因为一件小事. So you can see we can put this 因为 because at the beginning of the sentence, right? Because one little thing. It's the same with English. And we jump to the third sentence. This one is the same with this one. 我因为一件小事就和他分手了。So you can understand 我 we put the first personal pronoun at the beginning of the sentence to start the sentence 我因为 I, comma, because a little thing, comma, broke up with him, period. Right? So you may figure out the function or the grammatical function of this because 因为我因为一件小事 comma 就和他分手了 this 就is a very hard Chinese word. It means this 就 has a lot of functions just like this le. So in this sentence 就 means we emphasize the sentence 我就和他分手了 I, because one little thing, broke up with him. We give that sentence a push and emphasize 就和他分手了 So I don't actually know the exact meaning of this 就 But if you don't use this word, if you say 我因为一件小事和他分手了 It sounds a little different with the sentence with this 就 The difference lies probably in 我因为一件小事就和他分手了 It means if you add this 就 in a sentence, if you put this 就, if you use this 就 in a sentence, it probably implies that you blame yourself for breaking up with him because it's only one little thing. It implies you might be regret about the breakup thing, right? 我因为一件小事就和他分手了 You kind of regret about it. You kind of blame yourself for the stupid breakup thing. You may have the thought of getting together again, right? That's the imply I get. But if you do not use this 就我因为一件小事和他分手了 It probably just a statement to say, okay, I broke up with him because there's one little thing, 一件小事 That's the difference. So, if you learn Chinese, just like you learn any other languages, you have to listen and read as much as you can to create this, I don't know, 语感, we call it in Chinese, 语感, the feeling of the language. 感觉, a feeling. 语感, 语, it means the language. The feeling of the language is very important. So the feeling, you may understand the difference with or without this 就. Alright? And the second sentence, 因为明天有考试， 他早早就睡了。因为 we put this 因为 at the beginning of the sentence. 因为 because 明天 aujourd'hui tomorrow, right? 明天有考试，有 means have, right? So, so Chinese is a lot different than with English because we always don't use this subject. Because we know the subject, then we don't refer or we don't indicate, we don't show the subject because we know the subject. So Chinese language is very much rely on the context. You must have a context. So this sentence, 因为明天有考试, it means, of course, he, right? 他 he has a test or examination 考试 tomorrow, so he went to sleep very early. 睡觉睡了 right? 睡了 to go to sleep. This is 了 right? Suffix to indicate the verb happened in the past. And this 早早 you may notice this these are two exact the same word, right? 早 means early. It's an adjective, right? So we have learned I believe if you see my last episodes, we have learned reduplication, verb reduplication. We have made, I believe, 3 or 4 videos about Chinese verb reduplication, and this one is adjective reduplication. Adjective reduplication. 早早 it means very early. 早早早 means early. 早早 very early. He went to sleep very early. 因为明天有考试 because tomorrow there is a test. He very early went to sleep. The Chinese sentence order syntax is like that. And the fourth sentence, we can also put the third personal pronoun at the beginning. 他因为明天有考试，早早就睡了。Right? 早早就睡了。So we can see here we also have 就 right? 就 to emphasize, right? And I don't know how to say the term. If we have this 就 in a sentence, we might make the sentence sound very smoothly, very smooth. So if you have the feeling of Chinese, you may understand what I'm talking about. 他因为明天有考试 He, because tomorrow there is a test, 考试早早就睡了 very early went to sleep 就睡了 right? 他因为明天有考试因为明天有考试他早早就睡了他因为明天有考试早早就睡了 is the same. The two sentences are the same. They tell the same meaning. So if by meaning they are the same, so what's the difference? Why we have two ways of expressing the same thing? Like for example, 因为明天有考试，他早早就睡了 is more formal than this one. 他因为明天有考试，早早就睡了 This one is more formal. It's more like written language. And this one is more like spoken language. The syntax is more like spoken language. So that's the main difference between the two sets of sentences. Okay, in this video we have talked about Chinese conjunction word 因为 because 因为 I believe there are some more variations of this 因为 we'll figure that out, and maybe we have another video to talk about this kind of conjunction. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your watching. See you next video.